There's always a bubble when something big happens. We started in the dot-com bubble. That's happening again. And I think there's an AI, especially right now, people going for the gold rush.
How do you respond to investors' skepticism?
They want to discount that and say, well, AI is eating software, and Slack is actually a jewel in our portfolio that, is the best interface for AI. We're also hiring AI agents, people who no longer need to do the rote work. We could take those people and redeploy them. Please, apply to these new roles. If you're not using AI in your job, you should leave.
101テック始まります。今日のテーマは AI 時代の会社と仕事です。チャット GPT、ジェミニなどなど AI の進化が止まりません。シリコンバレーの最先端企業はすでに AI によって日々の仕事や経営が激変しています。その一方で 95% の企業が AI 活用に失敗しているという調査も出ているんです。何がその命運を分けるのか、今日はシリコンバレーの古参ソフトウェア企業セールスフォースの共同創業者であるパーカー・ハリスさんに AI 時代の会社と仕事について伺います。パーカーさんはスラックの技術責任者でもあります。ぜひ最後までご覧ください。Okay, Parker Harris, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here in Tokyo.
You're based in San Francisco.
San Francisco,
right now. Okay.
Yes.
So long flight and jet lag.
Long flight, but I've been coming here pretty much ever since we started Salesforce Japan, which was in 2000.
Yeah.
I started the company in 1999, so we're 26 years old now. So I was trying to count how many times I've been to Japan. I think it must be at least 20. So, which doesn't sound like a lot when I count like 20. But 20 trips is a lot of trips. Yeah.
Right. It is, yeah. Everyone is not only in Salesforce, but also in the industry as a whole, talking about AI, and all things AI.
Yeah.
And actually, the Gemini just launched a few days ago, and the NVIDIA had to record their earnings earlier today. So, how do you see the AI landscape right now from your point of view?
Well, first of all, I feel lucky to be in the middle of it. And Salesforce is, our part of it is how do we bring enterprises into this new AI world. With partners like Google. Google's one of our large partners. OpenAI is a large partner. Anthropic is a large partner. And I think, I've never seen the pace of innovation faster. I think when, we have a research group, we were writing papers, we wrote the research paper on prompt engineering, believe it or not.
Right.
I'd like to take credit for when OpenAI really hit that tipping point. We had a few ingredients in there, but we as a company were surprised. And we had to repivot the entire company that year to focus on agentic AI. And I think every company has done that. What has changed in 3 years? I mean, the entire world has changed. And, you're talking about the latest, NVIDIA, who would have thought NVIDIA, for gaming and graphics cards, you think, well, that's a great company. If you look at the growth of NVIDIA and, where they are positioned as a company and the speed that they're going, I don't know who's going to catch up to them. And then, you look at OpenAI, certainly it's an incredible company, but Google, I mean, I on the flight here, I watched a video or a documentary on the founding of DeepMind in London and the history of that. And it was very much of an academic approach.
Right.
It was not a business focus. And Demis
Hassabis.
Hassabis.
Yeah, CEO.
Can't pronounce his name very well. But it was really a story of him and his history. But what I loved about it, it was about changing the world. And it wasn't just about, this was pre-Google. It wasn't just about how do we make money from it. And I think that, it is a technology revolution like none I've ever seen. I think it has the power to do a lot of good, change a lot of lives. Also, there's lots of risks with it too.
Right. It's the fastest pace of innovation since
Don't you
guys founded the company. Yeah, but I guess I live a shorter life. So I haven't seen much of it. But
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, Salesforce started with the internet, and the internet had been around a bit, but not for the enterprise.
Yeah.
And so we started with a simple idea: don't buy your software. Don't, people were buying CD-ROMs, and putting them in computers, installing the software, upgrading the software, buying the servers, running their own data centers. This was 1999. And so we were born in that revolution of the internet. And I think a lot has changed because of that. We expect, because that next revolution was the phone based upon the internet, but why can't I do it all from the phone? Now we expect to do everything from our phone. I order my groceries from my phone. I get my dinner if I wanted, in the United States.
Yes.
I mean, everything in San Francisco is automated.
Right.
I get my Waymo, my robot car comes to me with my phone. Why can't I do that in the enterprise? And so, each of these revolutions has been kind of bigger than the last. And I think, predictive AI was huge, but agentic AI, I mean, I think it's the biggest transformation we're going to go through in our generation.
Right. But on the contrary, that many analysts and fund managers are talking about AI bubble thing.
Yeah.
What's your
But don't you think there's always a bubble when something big happens? I mean, look, when we started Salesforce, it was huge. And do you remember the dot-com bubble?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we started in the dot-com bubble. And I felt like we had a pretty simple business model. We're going to use the internet to deliver Salesforce automation in a better and easier way so that you can just point, click, close. Point to your website, to our website, sign up, and close your deals.
Yeah. So
very simple. And then there were all these other .coms that were like, well, what's your business model? I don't understand. It was all about eyeballs. Remember, how many eyeballs you get, how many impressions can you get? And some of those companies became massive companies.
Right.
But there was this whole wipeout of companies that didn't make it through. That's happening again. I mean, anytime there's a revolution, there are people going for the gold rush. And not every mine has a lot of gold. So they're all coming. And I think and AI especially right now, I mean, it's kind of magic, you can create an incredible demonstration. You can create an incredible startup that's like, wow, that is amazing with these big visions. But it's harder than it looks, to make the AI be successful. So there are going to be a lot of failures, just like the dot-com bubble when Salesforce started. You're going to see the same thing, but you're also going to see the next new giant companies come out of this. I think Salesforce has the potential to be one of those next big companies. We are already a big company. I think we will ride this and bring our customers forward into this agentic revolution to become an even more successful company.
Do you feel like you and all the Salesforce have been inside the gold rush, or is everyone doing the gold rush thing at Salesforce right now?
I think, everyone is. So, we have 70 to 80,000 employees roughly worldwide. And we had already written the business plan for the year because we started in February. And when OpenAI hit that tipping point, everyone's like, wow, we took a step back. We said we had to replan. And so we're able, it's like a battleship. It's not, we don't turn in a moment, but we can turn. And so we used a replanning process, a realignment of prioritization to say AI is the most important thing for us. And so I would say that every single person at Salesforce is focused on AI. What we're saying internal to Salesforce is everything needs to be AI first, Agentforce first. Everything needs to be Slack first, actually, because we think Slack is actually a jewel in our portfolio that, is the best interface for AI. And it could be the interface for, all people doing enterprise work. And so everyone is part of this revolution in their own way. And if they're not, that's a problem. And we would talk to them and say, you need to wake up. We all have to have an anxiety that if you're not part of this, if you're not rushing forward, you're going to get left behind.
Right. You just said the organization is going faster right now, and so, but Salesforce paused the hiring of engineers in the beginning of this year.
No. I think those are crazy rumors. I would say that we are probably at the net level growing less. We're not trying to double the size of the company by headcount. We're still hiring. There are people that leave Salesforce, that we have attrition. And so we are hiring the best people out there. We're also hiring AI agents in there. Our support organization looks very different today.
Customer support.
Customer support looks very different. So we have a lot of support people who no longer need to do the rote work of, hi, I need to change my password. How do I change my password? Or how do I do two-factor authentication? Or, some of the simple rote work, the agents can do that. That's helped out Salesforce, the service agents doing that work for us. And so then we could take those people and redeploy them. We need a lot more what we call forward deployed engineers. We took a lot of people and we said, please, apply to these new roles. And people are, so this is the up-leveling of human capabilities through AI that's happening. And if the AI is going to do some of the rote work, people are going to find new jobs. Doesn't mean there might need to be retrained. There might need more education. But, that's what's happening right now. And every big, technical revolution, this happens. And we're in a big one right now.
Like, everyone's talking about the AI taking the jobs away. Like, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, AI is wiping away the entry-level jobs or something like that. What's your take on that?
I think jobs are going to change dramatically. So, do you need a paralegal like you think of them today? Or, in investment banking, the research analysts out of college coming in and doing research? They're probably not going to do the same thing they're doing today. And if they come into the workplace, I think Jamie Dimon or someone said this recently, if you're not using AI in your job, you should leave. If you're not being trained to use AI in education, I think a lot about that. And you're coming into these companies, you're not going to get those right jobs. So the jobs are going to change dramatically. I think there's going to be more jobs. If we have more capabilities, we're going to dream up more that we can do, as a species. And all of those opportunities are going to need more people leveraging these tools. Some of these tools, the AI, the agents, are going to do work for us. Some of them are going to do work with us. But it's still going to be humans and AI, and we're just going to be elevated as a species because of it.
You're also CTO of Slack. Salesforce acquired Slack back in 2021, and everyone in some kinds of companies are using business chat software, like business messaging softwares. And you call Slack an agentic OS operating system. So how does it work as an OS in the AI era?
Well, you have to roll back to the vision of Slack's founding, which I'll take no credit for, because it was before we even had met the co-founders and bought it. But the vision was, it is the center point to do work. And Slack is most successful. You'll see it. Every engineering group in the world uses Slack. And they use it because they can sit in Slack, and it's called multiplayer. Multiple engineers working together, but then connected to their tools, whatever tool they need to use. All of the different systems are integrated into Slack in one central place. So now, fast forward to now with agentic AI, Slack is that central point connected to your agents. And the agents are coming into Slack, directly to you in what's called a direct message. I just want to work with, that agent to ask it questions, get some help. Or more and more in a channel where we're doing work. Because Slack is a place where work gets done. It's not just a place to send messages. It's actually to have that messaging collaboration lead to results and lead to getting work done. And the agents are now in Slack with the humans. We have a feature called Slackbot that You may know it from years ago. It does a little bit for you. It might say, hey, would you like to add someone to this channel? But we now have a new Slack bot. You haven't even seen it yet. It is unbelievable. We're using it internally. We have a few pilot customers. It could be one of the best features, and it's going to be that hub where work gets done.
Mm-hmm. Right. What's in the road ahead? What kind of platform will Slack be in the future?
Well, I think, Slack will continue to be the place where work gets done. Any collaboration tool has a lot coming at you. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of messaging, a lot of different things. Like, your emails coming at you.
People say it's sometimes distracting, like too many messages on the Slack. And
I think that's true of any collaboration tool. Mm-hmm. I think it's a problem that we take on head on. Mm-hmm. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use AI. We're going to, prioritize what's important. We're going to have agents in there handling some of that and clearing out some of it. We will, clean up the interface with AI. Say like, well, this is no longer important. Mm-hmm. And so, if we get it right, which I think we will, the UI is going to be more and more dynamic. Mm-hmm. Where you're going to be living. And yes, there'll be channels and messaging and humans and AI, but you're going to be looking at what's most important. Mm. And each day it's going to be different. And, it'll tell you what's happening. Like, it'd be great to have my agent today. Here's my calendar, here's what's important. Here's the briefing for what we're doing right now. Mm. I have this on my calendar, but there's documents. Mm. There's structured data, and pulling that all together, running it through LLMs, running it through Agentforce to give better answers. And so, it is a problem. It's a problem. Like, think about Gmail. Mm-hmm. Emails coming at you all day long. Yeah. But I think, and many companies are going after this, but we've got the user base. Mm-hmm. We have the people who love Slack, and I want them to keep loving it. And so I'm going to do everything I can to keep making it better and better and better, easier to use, less noise, more intelligent, and then we're going to listen to them. And that's like what the magic of Slack is: not inventing the future and knowing what it is. Mm-hmm. It's working with the users and inventing in these micro increments, and knowing when we get product market fit, meaning users love it.
Right. But when it comes to enterprise AI agents, I think the context is very important for users. So when I think about it, the Microsoft and Google have like Google Workspace or Microsoft 365, like all like suites of productivity software, like calendar, mail, like the documents and spreadsheets and all sorts of things. Yeah. So I feel like they have more context about the workers, how they do work every day. Yeah. So do you think the Slack and all the suites of software can compete with them?
I don't see it as a competition because we're bringing all that context into Slack.
Okay.
So we're connecting to Google Drive. We're connecting to the calendar, Office 365, depending on what tools you use. And we're bringing that information in. And so context is king. And, yes, we're bringing those assets in. There's a lot of context in Slack. There's a lot of context in Salesforce too. Yeah. And so we've been thinking about context for a long time. We are a data company at our heart, and it's gotten bigger with all these assets. But now it's not about, I need to dive into the depth of all that data. We're just having the AI dive into the depth of the data and tell us, what do you see? What do I need to know? Tell me what's important.
Right. Like, as a consumer, everyone is now using ChatGPT or Gemini or everything, AI services. But one of the MIT reports said that 95% of companies fail to use AI to generate returns, despite billions of investments. So they fail to take advantage of AI as a team, as an organization, not as a consumer, not as an individual. Why is such a thing happening in the business environments right now?
Well, we're all picking up a ChatGPT or a Claude or Perplexity or Gemini, and we're using it to answer questions, to, help us to learn something. And you're basically using an AI model, and all the data has been baked into that model and answers, or it, goes and grabs some data from the web. But it's a fairly simple construct. That the brain itself is not simple, but the actual framework is very simple. But in the enterprise, you need the data to be correct. Do I have all of the relevant data? ChatGPT didn't train on every corporation's data.
Right.
That was the corporation's data, and they keep it secure. But often enterprise data is all locked up. So this is hard. And what happened is everyone, when, had anxiety that we don't want to be left behind. So what I just said is like, you better be going fast in this AI revolution. So every CEO said, I want AI in every department. Everyone needs to do AI.
Do something about AI.
and they would say, here, we have a license for everyone to use this LLM, OpenAI, Claude, whatever. And they said, go forth and do AI. And so that happened. And everybody, basically had LLMs and prompts and found some data and created kind of some use cases that on the surface at first looked like, okay, this is going to be great, but they weren't repeatable. They weren't, there's no security model for the data. And so they started stumbling. And so it was that kind of fear of missing out and being left behind, and that kind of the gold rush, right? Yeah. Rushing to do AI, but not doing it with a platform. And that's where we come in, is we really have built that platform to help our customers, have an integrated platform where your applications are connected, your data is connected, and it's unlocked across the enterprise. And the AI is on a platform that we give to you. Like, we give all our customers Salesforce automation, market automation, e-commerce, but every customer takes it and then makes it their own. And they do that because we built a platform 26 years ago, and it kept getting better and better and better. That's what we're doing for AI. We do have agents out of the box that are awesome, but every a high-tech company is different than a healthcare company. A company in the United States is different than a company in Japan. Everyone has a different way of working. Even companies have those microcosms, and you need to be able to configure that in the way that works for you. And so that's what we've done with Agentforce. Is it's a platform, and you can build your topics, your skills, you can connect it to the data, and then you can iterate as a customer on that and keep making it better.
Are AI agents good enough to be our call worker?
I think in some cases they can be, but I think it's super early. So we have a role at Salesforce called the sales development rep. So we hire young people to get on the phone and call customers and say, hi, would you like to buy some Salesforce automation? Do you have needs in market automation? And they're selling into corporations, trying to generate leads that then they would pass on to our more experienced salespeople to close. We now have an agent called a sales development rep, or SDR agent, built on Agentforce, that goes after all these leads in our database that we thought, well, we're paying you a lot of money, and I don't think it's worth you trying to close these because they don't look like they're going to help. We used predictive AI and machine learning. We say, well, unlikely to close. But for agents, we can scale that. It was like, fine, we'll just see what happens. And so the agent pulls a lead from the database and then sends an email out to that customer and says, hey, I saw you might be interested. And then, maybe the customer doesn't reply. That's fine. If the customer replies, it's not a one-way conversation. It's not like marketing automation of past, where you blast out emails and hopefully they click a link. It's like, you put all this bait out into the pond, you hope somebody bites, but somebody's got to be on the other end of the pole, ready to go. With Agentforce SDR agent, that reply, it's a two-way conversation. So the conversation, if the reply comes back in, that agent might start having a multi-turn conversation with that customer. And then it knows, it's at this point where, this looks like the customer is really interested. and it will pass it on to a human to close that. Or occasionally it's starting to close those deals themselves.
Yeah.
So that's a coworker. That is like an agent working with you. We have an agent on the help site, help.salesforce.com. 2 million conversations are happening there. Williams Sonoma is doing it on, they have, a cooking concierge, like a sommelier, not a sommelier, but anyway, someone who's helping, here's a recipe and it goes with this pot that you have. And, and it understands you as a consumer. And so we're seeing it in a lot of places, but we're also, seeing that it's not everywhere. So yes, maybe a corporation's going to have armies of autonomous agents doing all the roles in the corporation that, are, lower level so that the humans can do that higher level stuff. We're all working with them. And that's a grand vision. But I don't think we're there yet, And then occasionally we'll find a use case that we can hone, like that SDR agent. And yes, that is a coworker. But anyone who tells you like agents are taking over the enterprise and they're going to be doing all the roles, I think is completely wrong. I don't think we're there yet.
Right.
We could get there, but
But the agent force adoption is not high yet. That 12,000 adoptions from around 150,000 customers, right? And about 6,000 are paid customers. So
yeah,
what do you think where the adoption is going?
Well, the adoption's definitely exponential. So, a couple of things. The customers need to get their data right. If you don't have your data right. So many customers are ahead on that. They've cleaned up their data sources. They've unlocked that siloed data. We have a lot of forward deployed engineers, meaning we're going into those customers and we're iterating with them, tuning the implementations to success. And so I think everyone's on a different point of the journey right now. And it's also where are you solving it in the corporation? So customer agents on websites answering questions is really one of the first use cases that kind of everybody's going after that space. And I think we've proven that out.
No more useless chatbot.
No more useless chatbot. And it's helping you and, solve whatever problems you have very, very quickly. So companies are happier. They're more productive. The customers are happier because they're getting faster answers. And so where do you go from that? Well, there's that SDR agent and it goes go into sales and marketing, employee productivity. So I think it's an incremental, move across, all the different touch points of the enterprise and more points of complexity. And I think it's a race. I think, we are well positioned as a company, but, we don't do it without any lack of anxiety of speed, because I think we need to go fast. We have, 12,000 now. We need to scale that. We need to go, a lot faster. But we'll get there.
People used to say software is eating the world.
Yes.
And now some people say AI is eating the software.
Yeah. What's
your take on that?
I think both are true somewhat, but, think about AI. AI is software. I think if Salesforce stood still, let's say we weren't changing and thinking about what's the new interface. Let's say we weren't doing anything about AI, then AI would eat Salesforce. Of course it would, because somebody's going to do that better. Just as did the internet eat enterprise software? It kind of did, and Salesforce rode that. We were part of that, and everyone uses SaaS. No one wants to install software anymore. And so you're just part of the next revolution. I don't think software is dead. Enterprise software is not dead. You can't just, if I were a model company, I would say this. I would say, yes, we're putting billions and trillions of dollars into data centers and electricity to build these massive new models, and they will do everything for you. It's a great thing to say. But I think it's going to be, I don't think that's true. You need structured software, but are you going to use it the same way that you once did? Are you going to log into Salesforce and there's this enterprise application? Or Will AI decompose enterprise software? That's more my belief.
What does decompose?
Decompose means I'm going to get the pieces that I need in the moment that I need them. And
you can call AI.
Yeah. Well, let's play it forward. What if I'm in Slack and I'm talking to AI and the AI is bringing me the functionality I need in the moment I need it. Mm-hmm. And the user interface is no longer one giant interface. It's dynamic.
Right.
It's coming to me in, mm-hmm. In that conversational interface. Mm-hmm. And then I take action on it. But we have all the breadth of Salesforce. We're just reconfiguring it, rethinking it all into this new world that's AI first, Slack first.
Yeah.
Analytics are going to be everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be this incredible future.
Mm-hmm. So that's why you call Slack an agentic OS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm. But investors seems to be worried about where Salesforce is going in the AI age. So how do you respond to investors' skepticism?
I tell the customer stories. I think there are people out there that have tried to say, because we are successful, mm-hmm. they want to discount that and say, well, AI is eating software and SaaS is dead. Mm-hmm. You've heard that from some other people. Those people, their companies have not been as successful in some of the enterprise software, in CRM certainly, and in bringing valuable agentic AI into the enterprise. Mm-hmm. They don't have those customer stories. So they're not leaning on them, and they're telling different stories, false stories. We're telling the customer stories like we did here at the event here in Tokyo. Customer success, bringing these companies forward into the AI world. And so that's what I tell them. And, people doubted us when we started Salesforce. Mm-hmm. They said, oh, no one's going to trust their customer list on the internet. That's crazy. They're like, we barely trust our credit cards. And like, no, we believe in this. It's part of a new revolution. So with every revolution, there are doubters, and they're going to throw, doubts at the leaders that are powering through it. And, I believe in our vision and our success, and, we will beat everyone there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said that SaaS is not dead, but everyone can code and develop software right now with AI, like agentic coding software. Everyone can build their own workflows, and maybe eventually everyone might be able to build their own CRMs, something. Mm-hmm. Like some Altman said, coding agents enable software on demand thing. Yeah. So looking forward, do you think Salesforce is going to survive in the AI
Absolutely. age? Look, AI can write code right now, and it's great at writing code. But also it's terrible at writing code. It's both. We have seen productivity gains, huge productivity gains. But it's really when the engineers know if the AI is really doing a good job or not. And like it'll, they'll say, okay, you got to rewrite that. That's not quite right. Yeah. Entry-level programmers that go a little bit crazy trying to use AI are actually, have you heard the term AI Slop? It's this term in enterprises, writing software. Like, that isn't great software. And it's actually creating a productivity loss. And so, you could tell the AI, code up a UI that looks like Salesforce and give me a database. And you could say like, there, I'm done. But do you have the taste of what good software is? Are you iterating with it? Like maybe you created something, but you need to keep updating it and listen to those users. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
And so I think, again, we have great demonstrations. You can take AI and go, magic trick, look, I created Salesforce, or I created Slack, or I created whatever. But did you really? And is anyone going to use it? And will they be productive with it? And will they trust you? And, how are you going to support it? How are you going to iterate with your customers? You have none of that. You have a demonstration.
Yeah.
And so, we will use vibe coding. We'll use, AI generating code to go even faster at Salesforce. We already are. We're 30% more productive in our engineering group because of AI. AI, for coding is probably one of the best domains because there's so much code out there that it trained on. So we're all doing that, and we're going to go faster. So if we're going faster with what we have using AI to code, we're racing into the future.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use AI and code something of what Salesforce is today or was 10 years ago. I don't believe you can, but you can try. We're going to be way past it. We're moving so fast right now that, you're not going to use AI to code your way to catch up. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. Maybe just the UI that just looks like.
I think you can create UI really quickly. It's like it's cool, but what's underneath it?
Right.
Do you have a deeply integrated platform of applications, of data, of integrations? Do you have a conversational interface as your front end? Do you have deep analytics?
Yeah.
Do you have industry-specific capabilities? I mean, there's a lot there.
Right.
No.
Earlier, I think this is going to be a last question, but earlier you talked about the documentary about the Mr. Savas, the DeepMind CEO.
Yeah.
He and the people from DeepMind are talking a lot about AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
I think people in Silicon Valley are talking a lot about AGI, like what will it come, or how will it look like, and all sorts of things. But when we have AGI sometime in the future, what would the enterprise look like, or what would the software look like?
I still think we're a ways off from AGI. I think, I mean, look at where we are today, and, even the best models come out, with simple questions can hallucinate.
Right.
Still. I just saw, an example. It put, one of the founders of Twitter as the CEO of one of the hot new AI startups. I'm like, that's not true. Where'd you get that? And it was a simple question. So if that's still happening, I don't think we're that close to AGI, and if we do get to AGI, I think that, this idea of what will humans and agents and AI be doing together, it will be transformational. What will Salesforce look in that world? I think we have to iterate our way there, but it will be a different company. I think it's an exciting future that, if we could get there, what does it mean for civilization? But I think we're a ways off from that. We may hit another AI winter. You don't know. I mean, maybe, the state of the art, we've trained on all the data we can. We're now creating synthetic data. We're doing post-training and more reinforcement learning and trying to keep tweaking the algorithms. But, are we really going to get to AGI quickly? Or will we have some amazing tools right now that companies like Salesforce can wrap around those LLM tools with platforms like Agentforce and Agentforce 360 and make them useful? That's what we're doing. And I think that's the innovation we're going to see in the near future. And then the models will keep getting better, but, I don't think we're at AGI anytime soon.
Right.
But it's a good debate. Everyone's debating it. And, if I were a model company, I would be arguing we're getting to AGI because I'm going to be asking for a lot more capital to, build out more data centers, to buy more NVIDIA chips, to, run more training.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to take a while.
But it's good just to keep debating about it.
It's a good debate, but at Salesforce we don't need to debate it. We have amazing tools today, and our challenge is let's take what we have and make our customers successful with it. That's what we're focused on. We're not waiting for AGI to somehow do something for us. We don't need to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It was great to hear all of the
Pleasure.
stories.
This was a lot of fun.
Much. Yeah.
Great questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.